Every week's a new week, and the goal is to go 1-0 that week. So the record in the past doesn't really matter, and the record in the future doesn't really matter. So you just try and go 1-0 every week, and then eventually, a bunch of good weeks turn into a good month, and then you just go from there. So I think it's more focused on what we can do this week to win the game, and obviously we've made progress, but we're not looking back at this point.
How important is it to take advantage of the opportunity that you guys have made, though, to get to where you are now, going into this game? And you talked about it by stacking things together.
Yeah.
Good practices too.
Yeah, I think it's just stacking days together, and like I said, you can't focus on the outcome. You just got to focus on the process of having a good week, and just try and do things the right way and stick to your routine. So yeah.
Do you feel like you're getting better at that as a group?
Yeah.
With less mistakes during the week, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think every week's a new week, and we can do things to improve on the things we did bad in the game, and then sticking to, our core of what we believe in, and just continuing to do that.
Matt, is there anything specific that you've been working on off of last week's game to improve for this week?
Yeah, there's a lot of things I'm going to improve on, and I'm trying to work on them during practice, and a lot of that stuff's personal and things I can improve on. Starts with every day, just putting a little bit of effort into it, and obviously identifying what the issues are, and I have a long way to go in that regard, but I think everyone on our team is improving every day because that's the standard that's set, regardless of offense, defense, special teams. So I've always tried to just look up to the older guys and see how they do it, and see how they get better every day, and a lot of that's just staying consistent.
Do you feel personally that you're in a better place from last week after the work you've done?
What do you mean by that? Like,
Well,
a week later?
Mentally,
Yeah, I think every week is an experience, and you just add those experiences together. So, as you go along through the season, whatever season you're in whatever sport, you stack weeks together, and then you feel more comfortable, and that's just how sports work. But like I said, it's all about this week, and that's all you can control. So you can't focus on next week, and you can't dwell on the past either.
Matt, what do you see when you look at Carolina on film? How would you describe the talent and the scheme?
Yeah.
This weekend?
Yeah, they have a bunch of talented players, and they do a good job with their scheme. They're all hard-nosed football players that, come ready to work, and you can see it on the film. They're coming to hit, and they're doing their job, and they play together, and they rally to the ball. So this is definitely one of the top defenses in the NFL, no doubt, and we got to be ready to go, and it should be, a good experience. Just go down there and have fun and go against a really good team.
Were there things about the scheme that stood out the way Matt Ryan had a career low passing last week, a couple of interceptions?
Yeah, I think obviously they do a great job creating negative plays and disrupting the quarterback with their edge guys and the defensive line, and they have great linebackers and really good cover players. So they got you gloved. When you watch the film, there's sometimes not a lot of people open, and they do a really good job with that. And it's a group effort, and you can tell that they have really good leadership on their team. They have some young guys and old guys, but the leadership is there, and they play together, and they communicate really well.
Mac, when you first got to the Senior Bowl, obviously that Panther staff was the first NFL staff you worked with before. Just what were some things that they might have shared then about what it'll be like being in the league?
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, it was just a good experience to go down there with a bunch of people that played really well in college. And, it wasn't a real NFL game or anything like that, but it was a good experience. And, a lot of guys are playing in the NFL now from that game, so it was just cool to go down there and meet different people and hang out with a good staff.
Matt, how much of an emphasis is it for you every week to step into your throws and not fade away from it?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Sometimes there's other things that happen where you can't, but the majority of the time a quarterback should just step with his left foot and deliver the throw, and the moral of the story is just complete the ball. And sometimes you get caught up in everything, but if you complete it, you can always nitpick the film later, and I can do a better job of that. So it's one of those things that I'm going to improve on. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Mike.
There's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.
When did Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade?
Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.
New Bud Light Seltzer Lemonade, packed with lemonade flavor after a lemon of a year.
Opponents? I've gone up against thousands.
And there's an opponent we're all up against, COVID-19.
But there's a way to beat it. Get vaccinated.
So when it's your turn, roll up your sleeves.
And let's get to the finish line together.
When did Bud Light Seltzer start making lemonade?
Probably when 2020 handed us all those lemons.